Welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to be talking about something that is a little bit more sensitive of a subject, and it's something I feel very passionate about giving you tools for to support yourself and support maybe someone else you see going through this. And that is how to deal with body shaming bullies. So if you're watching this video, you unfortunately have had the experience of maybe either being body shamed yourself, someone in your family, friends, outside of your circle commenting on your body or the way you look, or someone commenting on someone else's. And this video is all about giving you tools to support you through that very unfortunate situation that I wish, hope, and pray never has to happen to you again or happen to anyone in the world, to be honest. So let's just start with what someone must be experiencing in their own life if they are saying a rude, hateful, or asshole-like comment about you, about someone else's body. And that really helps me if I get triggered by what someone else says. Is one of the first things I think about is, what does that person have to be going through in their own life to come out and say this comment, this jab, whatever that might be? And for a lot of the women that we serve and we help who struggle with things like binge eating, emotional eating, weight loss, weight gain, all of it, weight struggles, they typically will have this generational thing where a lot of the women in their family also struggle. And so maybe they've been on diets with their sister or diets with their mom, and everyone in their immediate circle or maybe their circle of friends is on this whole diet thing. Like, I'm gonna try this and I'm gonna, I can't believe you're not tracking on MyFitnessPal anymore. Like, aren't you worried you're gonna get fat? Or like these comments that aren't supportive to them breaking free. And when these things happen, I always tell them to have compassion. And I know it's a little counterintuitive when someone's kind of a jerk to have compassion for them, right? But like, hurt people. Someone who's happy and grounded and filled with joy is not going and commenting on the size of your body or what you're putting on your plate or how you're managing your life, right? Someone who's most likely either struggling in that area or has a very limited perspective on food, weight, body, the world, human dynamics, human psychology, and all those things that would be really supportive for them to know so they wouldn't say these kind of things. So I always like to say, think of it like a mirror. When you experience maybe someone saying something to you that is triggering or hurtful. And the mirror, a double-sided mirror, right? So the mirror is in between you and them. So they are saying things, and those things that they're finding fault in outside of themselves, AKA you, is typically a projection of the pain or suffering they have inside of themselves, or maybe an emotion that they have going on in that moment. And so when I picture that, it helps me to have compassion, like, whoa, okay, this person must really be confused in this area if they're saying these kind of things. And compassion sometimes helps to take the big emotional charge of wanting to fight back, wanting to flee, shutting down, or just what a lot of our women do that we support. They don't really fight. They usually typically turn and attack themselves. And they turn and make themselves wrong. And they make themselves feel like they have to change their body or something about themselves so other people outside of them don't judge them. And that is not the case, right? So I want you to think of the other side of the mirror. So you have the double-sided mirror bouncing off their projection back onto them, right? And then you got to think, so if this thing is bothering you, then it's like you looking in a mirror of where those things inside of you are that potentially need a little healing, need a little love, need a little compassion for yourself. So typically, if you're feeling bad about your body, whether it's because of what someone said or just this society we live in general, or you just generally have insecurities about your body, typically it's not the powerful adult version of you who's here watching this video. It's not you and your power. It is that part of you who someplace along the way has internalized that the size of your body is linked with your self-worth as a human, with your ability to have things you want in your life like love, care, attention, partnership, the job, fitting in with friends. And none of these things are superficial. They're all human needs. And what happens for most women, some men, but I can speak for most women, is there is this link, this subconscious link that happens when they are younger at a very young age that I must be beautiful, typically standard exceptions of what's beautiful. I must be a certain size to get these things that I want and love, to be worthy of what I desire, and that is not the case. So when these fears come up, it's not just, oh my gosh, I don't like my stomach. You're meeting a part of yourself that might feel like you're unworthy because you look a certain way. And so it's so, so, so important to have so much compassion on yourself, not just the other person, but compassion on yourself. And send love to that part of you that feels scared, that feels shame. And ask yourself, what do I need in this moment? Like, okay, I know this is just a pattern habitual thought that's been conditioned in me a really long time. And I'm gonna pause and I'm gonna be with it and I'm gonna acknowledge what's happening. And now what do I need in the moment to support me right now? What is something I can do that says I'm worthy anyway? I'm amazing anyway. I am on my path to healing and well-being anyway. I'm doing this anyway, regardless of how I'm feeling, regardless of what so-and-so is saying about you or someone else. And it's so, so important to give yourself that space to have that process and not make yourself wrong for feeling bad or not make yourself wrong or feel broken or any of that. And so those are my main tips. But the next one would be, if there are people in your life who are toxic, you may have to set some boundaries. So if it's immediate family, you may have to set boundaries of what is okay to be talked about with you. Like, you might not be available for a conversation around dieting or critiquing other women's bodies, and that's okay. And your people will acclimate to what your boundaries are. And then if they don't, is it the best thing to have this person a huge part of your life if they're bringing constant negative, toxic, judgmental energy into this beautiful life that you are trying to create for yourself? And I know with immediate family, that's a little bit tricky, but there's probably people outside of you in your extended environments that maybe don't deserve as big of a position in your life if they're making you feel bad about yourself or critiquing others and triggering you inside. And so obviously that's very different for everyone, but just know, even if you don't get rid of people in your life, you can set boundaries within yourself of what's okay for you to tolerate, what conversations you're going to be a part of, what conversations you absolutely refuse to be a part of. And you may have to maybe say your one-liner and leave. You may have to just excuse yourself from the situation. You know, there's certain things you can do to really honor your own boundaries that don't necessarily like kick someone out of your life, because that's really extreme, right? And another thing, last but not least, is like, get rid of the stuff on social media that makes you feel less than, that you're comparing yourself to, or makes you feel like you're not enough. Avoid it at all costs. Unfollow those accounts. Follow things that light you up. Follow things that don't trigger you. Follow things that make you that honor your worth and your wholeness and your well-being. And really, like, if you're on this path to growth and loving and caring for your body, society as a whole is kind of in the opposite realm. So what can you do to support your environment and surround yourself with things that actually lift you up instead of bring you down, make you feel shame, and those kind of things. So I hope this helped you in the world of dealing with triggering things other people might say or do, and then also just in the own world with how you feel about your body on your journey to joy, health, happiness, positive body image, and all those beautiful things that you absolutely deserve. So I know this can be difficult. In my opinion, it's actually more difficult than a food struggle, because the hate for our body or self-rejection is what perpetuates a food struggle. And so if you need help in this department or with food, know there's a really great training in the description of this video specifically around these subjects that will help you break free from your struggles with your body and food. So go to that description, click the link, it's there for you. And if you enjoyed this video or need any more tips in the body image department, or have a comment or anything you want to share, please do so in the comments, because I would love, love, love to hear from you. This is a topic that's very near and dear to my heart, and I am passionate about really putting an end to it and putting an end to body shaming bullies once and for all. So thank you for watching, and I will see you on our next video on Tuesday of next week.